Welcome to episode 159 of Soccer for Gotham. Where's the Ref edition? We have a great show for all of you. So, first, the last two games for Gotham have been street fights masquerading as soccer games. Gotham's shutout streak comes to an end. It is a disappointing way. However, 10 points from four games is not a bad way to end that. And then reports are coming in that Gotham SC is in talks to move to Queens. We will talk about that. Then we got a game recap. We'll do a deep dive into the Boston FC game, the good, the bad, the in between. Then we'll have a lot of fan questions in this one, so be ready to make some comments underneath the video. I was expecting to do this episode by myself, so I had a lot of fans were going to be my co-pilot, but I have Jake Ritter with me. Jake, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy I was able to come off the bench for a surprise substitution, Gary. But much like, without giving too much away of the game, there were some high points and lows over the past couple of weeks before my last appearance. I really started developing my soccer content social media platforms. I actually hit last week over 4,000 views on TikTok, which I
Nice.
was Thanks. I was pretty surprised to see. I even turned to my wife and said, "Is there really that many people into niche rec league content?" And she just said, "Apparently."
Apparently.
And then
Indeed.
low, we lost our regular season finale, which would have got us in the playoffs. But there's highs and lows with everything, excitement in the game. So I'm just happy to be on and talk some more Gotham with you.
Yeah, indeed. So the Liberty are they're a must watch this season.
Oh
They're
yeah,
a new coach, new system that's fun, they're fast, they're moving well. Sabrina's been out for a couple of games and
yeah,
Johannes has just been unlocked. And she's if you don't know who she is, like she's one of the most fun players to watch in the entire sport. I think they play tomorrow. The WNBA schedule is so ridiculous. Like they play tomorrow night in Portland, and then they're home the following day. So it's like that's so much traveling, so many games so quickly. It's nuts. It's hard to keep up.
I mean, I guess it's a good thing that now we have charter flights because before that, that would have been a nightmare.
No doubt. Yeah. And then this Friday, I'm set up to interview Samantha Rosette from Brooklyn FC. They
Mm,
fed me another interview, which I'm happy to do. It's like
nice.
I don't get nervous or I'm gonna get Star Trek nervous or whatever. I don't care who I'm talking to. This one makes me a little bit nervous. Reason being is because she started off as in New York. She grew up in New York. She did a full circle from like Lithuania to like whatever France, Germany. She went all over the place, and now she's back home in Brooklyn to finish her career. And this is like possibly her last interview as a professional player. So I'm just honored to do it, and I just want to
Yeah,
make sure I get it right. So been working on that all week. Can't wait. Should be fun.
can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, indeed. So, real quick note on the last episode, I and Ruby missed because we were time crunched. We missed the last of the racing game where Gotham did an amazing job of killing off the clock. There was one thing in there that I wanted to mention on the show, but I didn't get to. Harper has the ball on the sideline. She's doing a throw in, and she just pegs this like racing player in the legs, and it goes out of bounds again. And then she goes and picks up the ball, and like she's right in front of me because I'm in 106. Like she looks towards the bench with a big smile on her face. Like she's like, "Do you see what? It's like, you see what I did there?" So it was funny, but good on Jordan Dudley and Harper for killing off a bunch of time at the end of that game. But let's get into the headlines, Jake. News dropped today from Sportico that Gotham is in the final talks to move to New York City to new NYCFC stadiums in Queens. And this is going to happen probably in 2027 when the stadium opens. So that would be next year, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of jumping on us, but just your initial thoughts on this move. Obviously, as someone from New York, you're the perfect person to talk
Well, and also to just say a little here we go.
to. Yeah.
Woo! I am excited. This was something that I thought we actually talked a little off air about as well. And don't worry, I have my other jersey I'll put on so I don't enrage too much of our supporters afterwards. But it was something that I was excited about the prospect. We talked off air that possibility they were looking at a team, whether it was USL, NWSL, the W League as well. But I always had a thought that is there a chance that instead of a team from the ground up, could Gotham come in? I didn't know how likely or thought the logistics of that being with uh, Gotham really building first Red Bull Arena, now Sports Illustrated, as a true home, a true cathedral for them to play in. But this news just feels like it would be a fantastic opportunity, and it would really be a year of soccer with the Olympics coming in, hosting a slew of games actually at the new Etihad Park, including some great women's Olympic matches, which I will be at one of them. I got really excited to get some seats for that. And one thing I would like to add was there's a quote that really jumped out for me from NYCFC COO Jennifer O'Sullivan, who I met at an Open Cup match once briefly, from that Sportico article. I can guarantee you that someday there will be a women's team playing in this building because it's something we believe in and we really want to have. So that's a guarantee. When it will happen, I don't know, but it will definitely happen for us. So just that confidence that there will be a team, whether it's Gotham or another, it seems like the tea leaves are tea leaving, Gary. I'm getting excited for this.
Indeed. We talked about, I mean, there's a possibility that the thoughts of bringing a women's team to that stadium kind of forced Gotham's hand a little bit because they were trying to make inroads into New York City, trying to make inroads into that fan base. So this is a way to kind of bridge those gaps. You kind of have to follow the money. If you look at Angel City, for instance, right? They don't own their own stadium, but they are always the top valuated team because they have access to the LA market, right? So that is the goal for Gotham. It's just basically getting into the New York market. Everybody wants to be in the New York market. Originally, we had a conversation with at the time, the GM, Elise LaHue, and she said she would go to all these meetings where these investors and she would say like, oh, we're Sky Blue FC or Gotham FC. And like, they'd be like, where are you from? Like, oh, New Jersey. They'd be like, oh, okay, cool. And then she'd be like, well, we also represent New York. And she's like, oh, really? New York, eh? All right, let's talk. Because everybody just wants a piece of the New York market. So it does make sense to follow the money and to bring it there. The bad cop part of this would be, obviously, it alienates a lot of the fan base that was there from the get-go, from Yurcak Stadium in Rutgers, New Jersey. It would be the first time I would not be a season ticket holder because it jumps from like, I'm an hour and a half away from Red Bull Arena or Sports Illustrated Stadium. So it would be 2 hours and 15 minutes without traffic for me. So that would be tough. They would kind of, but I'm still going to support the team. It's just we won't be able to go there as much as I want to, right? So it's just I have to make a day of it, which is fine. But so it does kind of alienate the New Jersey, Philly kind of fan base from there. But again, it does bring in more money, brings more eyeballs, brings the valuation up. And what owner does not want to bring their valuation up? So that is what I'm guessing is the main driver of this whole thing. So that is a whole conversation, a whole podcast in itself. And if the news does drop that it's official, again, we're going to try to bring back on Amanda. She's from New York as well. Jenna, hopefully by that time, she's in New York as well. So, and Ruby's from New Jersey. So we have a whole group of people talking this out and might bring some Cloud9 members on. We'll see if we can have a whole conversation about this. That'll be fun. So let's talk about this game, which was crazy. Crazy game. So first, Gotham is coming in on a historic run. They had 3 games, shutout 6 of their first 8, over 300 plus minutes without conceding a goal. Just amazing. And this game, Jake, were you there at this game?
Unfortunately, I wasn't.
Okay.
I did watch most of the first half, and at one point I was just watching the Gotham, which shout out to Gotham Socials. I once applied for a job and mentioned they were the people I most admired for their social media work. It's just chef's kiss. I didn't even realize the game was on because I just was watching the supporter section with Mamdani coming in, chanting. It just seemed like such a great pre-match atmosphere that I forgot, oh, there's soccer at the soccer game. It was just such a lively atmosphere. Then tuning into the actual broadcast that, through my powers of deduction, found the right place to watch the game, and then was able to just I feel like every NWSL fan just learns how to be more adept and aware on the internet now.
Yeah, no doubt. 11,000 fans in attendance, thanks in part to at least 1,000 fans that bought $5 tickets from the Mayor Mamdani giveaway, which is amazing. It's good to have him in the house. Also, Emma Hayes was in the house, the torchbearer for this match. Just it's so cool to have like a mayor that's like a rock star for once. And I'm just speaking outside of soccer for a moment. Like I know, just we're all rooting for him, and
Yeah,
like because where he goes, so much else is going to follow. And so I just
of
hope that
course.
I want the best for him, and he's obviously doing an amazing job right now. So let's talk about this lineup. For the first time in 3 weeks, after going about 3 seasons without the same lineup, we have a different lineup. And it's just because of one person. Rose Lavelle was off, and if after the game, Amrose said that Rose is fine and she's just on the bike and she's working out, just a small tweak of her hamstring. Hamstrings are tricky. You never know when they're fully healed until they're healed, and you got to like it could any moment be a lot worse than you think it is. This is a long season. Let's keep her healthy. Take all the caution that she need. In comes Sarah Shapansky, who has not gotten much minutes in the beginning of the season, which is interesting. Just your thoughts on bringing Sarah Shapansky into the lineup instead of Rose Lavelle, who was injured.
I think it's one thing that we spoke about on our last podcast together was that we really benefit from that deep bench. That unlike Denver Summit, who really would play just their one really starting 11 go out, Amoros really enjoys having that deep bench, and that practices are their own set of mini games that everyone's fighting for a spot, that no one's spot's really safe. Just look at our Rolodex of keepers from two teams having Gotham alumni, uh, now having AKB between the sticks. We really have a wide range of depth, and knowing Shapansky is a quality player and is able to step in and maybe show enough of that skill set like Dudley did that it's impossible to take her off the field. So they find another way to use her, a la Mitch Purse on the wings to forward, being a wing back. So really being able to use that breadth, and that no matter your age, status in the league, if you have the skills, Amros will find a way to get you in the game.
So we know that Gotham has switched over to a 4-2-3-1, and it puts a lot of emphasis on the attacking midfielder. And Rose has been lighting it up in this position because she's able to
Yeah.
turn and have so much more space to run around in. Now file this under but Sarah Shapansky is not Rose Lavelle. She is a completely different player with different skill sets. Sarah's not a player that's going to run down the field, take on 5 players, and change the game on a dribble. She's going to change the game on a pass. She has a credible range. She can hit the ball with both feet, and she's incredible there. So that changes a little bit. And then we also know that Boston is coming in to take legs and to be very physical. So Sarah can handle that kind of load better. Now, the only player we have on roster that is close to Rose Lavelle as far as skill set is concerned is Cook. Sophia Cook is very light on her feet. She can drag players. She can glide through open space. I kind of wanted to see her more in this position. So maybe if Rose is out another game, we get to see Sophia enter more, because every time she enters the game, she brings spark to the game. She brings a little bit of life, and as we'll talk about towards the end of the game, she's pretty lively and does really well there. So Boston made this game a slog. If you look at their positional chart, it is 3 defenders and then 6 midfielders, just all in the middle of the field, just throwing bodies and try to funnel everything into the middle of the field. And Gotham baited on a lot of this. They were not
Yeah.
playing very wide. They were kind of caught in the middle of the field a lot. And if you look at Gotham's positioning map, there's a big cluster of players right there in the middle as well. So I think we should talk about, obviously, the goal was brilliant. First, Howell turns the ball over in the middle of the field, which is amazing. Then follows her run all the way up the field, which, again, speaking about the 4-2-3-1, McCaskill can stay back and Howell can play more offensively. She runs through the lines. Sarah finds a great through ball behind the back line, gets it across, and Jaden Shaw just puts it away after an Esther save from Murphy. Just your first thoughts on Sarah being able to just pick out a pass through the defense on a dime without looking.
Honestly, speechless. Well, my notes on it was
What a
just,
ball.
I would just say, what a ball, and what a great team goal, I would say. Not just Shapansky, but Howell on back to back, not just passes, but one touch, accurately precise on the ground. That's just for soccer sickos like you and me. Seeing that, it's just nothing is better. Just that perfect pass, and everyone who contributed on that play had a played their part perfectly. Two great passes, Esther forcing a great point blank save from once Gotham, Casey Murphy, and then just probably you just see Jane Shaw licking her chops. You see some of the great golazos that she hit even over the playoffs. A 3-inch tapper, just okay. I think I can do that. And then as a goalkeeper, I just really felt for Murphy on that. It was a great one save, and for anyone behind the sticks, you know that you're just kind of throwing up your hands as a prayer. You know you're not getting to the ball. It's just instinct that you're just like, I need to do something. So I felt for her there, but that was just overall that was just a beautiful goal.
As a keeper, she did what she's supposed to do. You push the ball away from the center of the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Jane just happened to be in the right spot at the right time, and yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah,
Sarah had a pretty rough night going forward after that. I mean, Boston was
yeah,
kind of all over her, doubling her, and she completed about 71% of her passes. Then she won two of her seven duels. So she was harassed most of this game. And the most dangerous parts of the game are the first 5 to 7 minutes of each half, and then the 5 minutes right after you score a goal, because it can be a letdown. You start to put your
mm-hmm.
guard down a little bit, you rest on your laurels a little bit, and Boston just comes right down the field. And we talk about McCaskill. I feel like we talked about her a little bit too much on this podcast, this first half of the season, but she's the new experiment. So
Mm-hmm.
it's there. So for the past 3 games, Savannah's been lights out. And I mentioned on the last podcast, she's going to have a brilliant game, but she's always going to have that one pass, that one action. You're like, what are you doing? That
Yeah.
ball across the 18-yard box that got picked off and just led to some uncharacteristic things from Gotham. One, Carter gets beat
Yeah.
one-on-one, which is not something that happens. And then both Howell and Davidson miss their mark on a runner going through, and the ball just inches his way into the back post. Berger can't get to it. It's just what a letdown, right? Which just your thoughts on that goal?
I guess we would just go on both ends of the spectrum. I've mentioned the goal being just a complete team goal.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, that one was too, unfortunately. It just was rains it pours. You see that one pass of just no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Then that happened. Then the Carter just being beat there, and then something from possible new co-tenants NYCFC at Etihad had a slew of just giving up set piece goals. And while it wasn't full set piece, you still had that cross, and it was just man unmarked. And I have to give it up to Canyo. My apologies for the mispronunciation if there is. However, that was just a beautiful finish. The ball found her perfectly unmarked, and she did not waste any time. A lot of things led into her having that opportunity, but credit where credit's due, she made the most of it.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's such a letdown because it's not that Boston had a great team goal and they moved the ball around and they found space. It's
Yeah.
really a self-inflicted wound that
Mm-hmm.
Gotham let themselves down. The Gotham shutout streak ends at 340 minutes, the second longest streak in club history, and the club's
Mm-hmm.
longest since 2013. Then the second half,
Wow.
everything but the goal in the second half. I mean,
Yep.
Gotham was on their front foot. They had 11 shots to Boston's one, 10 corners to Boston's two, and Boston was just stuck in the box defending for their lives. Murphy made a great save again. Ball ended up off the post, and then a player cleared it out the last second. It just felt like it just not our night. But yeah, that just what a dominant second half, just everything but the goal.
Yep. Everything but the goal. You're absolutely right. It just feels like, while I would say I'm a few notches below the level of Gotham as well as where you play too. You just know sometimes where it's just the soccer gods are there's one player advantage on the other side. Everything could hit. Gotham was definitely winning the crossbar challenge, but on that goal, on that I mean near opportunity, at first in full time it looked like it might have been either unlucky bounce or the run in timeout. But I really do want to give credit to that defender. I look up the name, Rajo, I believe
Yeah.
number 24,
Mhm.
25. As a goalie, the only thing you would feel other than relief is I wish I made a good foot save like that. That was perfectly timed. It was just nothing else you can do. Howell was in position. Everything was falling. It was just that one moment, but it's just like in baseball when you keep hitting atom balls, eventually those will fall. It was just, and you can see also by the highlights being just 4 minutes. We know we had the opportunity. Next time capitalize, but yeah, that one definitely is the icing on top for the stinger.
Yeah. Good on the subs. I think Cook looked fantastic coming in, creating
Mm-hmm.
danger all over the pitch. Then, longtime listeners of this podcast know that I try my hardest to not talk about refs. Refs are human beings. Both teams have to play with the ref, even if they're bad. They're generally bad on both sides, generally. And what I always see it as like, if the ref lets you down on one play, like what did you do for the other 89 minutes? Like, right?
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be able to put yourself in this position where the ref can do that to you, right? And I get that, right? But this one was weird. First, it starts off where we're sitting there in the stadium and everybody's getting ready to start the game, and there's no ref. we're waiting, and then you hear Cloud9 chanting like, "Where's the ref? Where's the ref?" And the ref comes running out of the sideline. I don't know if he had like technical difficulties, if he had to use the bathroom, whatever it was, but like
Mm-hmm.
he was running late, and he just all right. Boston came in as they did the first game against Gotham, just taking bodies and taking names. They were just going in, taking everybody down, and 21 fouls on Boston, only 4 yellow cards. Just craziness. Gotham only had 1 yellow card, and it was the bench complaining about not getting enough yellow cards. So it was that. But man, what a rough game. And Boston obviously leads the league in fouls per match, and they lead the
Yeah.
league in yellow cards. It's just who they are. I think it was mentioned like, is this like part of the rivalry thing? Like, no, that's just kind of how Boston is. They're just going to fight you.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts on, I mean, just the physicality of this match in Boston. Yeah, I guess what they lack in maybe technical talent, they made up for in straight up fight.
Yeah, and we've seen in other games before where NWSL, it's not the league of Neymar. There will be physicality, and
Mm-hmm.
especially women's soccer in general, which I've always been appreciative and of. Players aren't going to go down unless there is something that happened. I watched a Women's World Cup match with Argentina. Player got hit in the face, bloodied. She kept playing. Like, it's just that tenacity. And I agree with you as someone who actually was a ref, who ref for U.S. Soccer for a bit, living in Boston. I definitely understand that they're humans. They're doing the best they can as long as you make the effort. It's a part of, while we may not like to admit it, part of why we like the game. It's the chance. It's, you don't know what will happen. It's really the chaos of the human experience. However, even with there being the abundance of yellow cards, and even though yellow cards are equal, the second yellow definitely has more weight. You have to know when to pull the trigger. You never want, as a ref, to make yourself part of the game. You are just more of the conductor, letting the orchestra play. However, if you're not going to police the game will police itself. And Boston took that on. Gotham tried to steer it back, and the game got away from the ref.
Yeah, a quote of the night was Anthony, who said Boston players were never going to get that second yellow card no matter what they did, and that was true. There was times where they were just, if a player would go on a break, and they would just run into the back of the player on the break, and it's just like, okay, no card, nothing. It was wild at a certain point. Just craziness. Then I think we're going to start a new segment called Everybody Hates Jordan Dudley, because Jordan Dudley gets the worst of all of it. I can't say how many times she was fouled. It's just, and and she was knocked down way more times than she was fouled. So just a tough player. I don't know how she keeps doing it. I think it's because the way she plays. She always tries to go like through players and just blow past them instead of like going around them. So it kind of leads to contact. And if you go against this team like Boston or Racing, they're gonna put a body on you. So yeah, she's getting knocked around, but that's tough. So the question for you, well, first a couple questions for the fans. The first, fans going to jump back and ask what your thoughts are on if Gotham moving to New York is a good idea. Two, we're going to talk about this, and you're going to give us your thoughts on this as well. Jake, I'm going to put these questions to you. Since Emma Hayes was in the house, do you think, based on this game, did these players raise their stock or did their stock stay the same, or did they drop their stock in the U.S. women's national team? So your thoughts on performance-wise, do you think Howell raised or stayed the same her stock?
I would say, as we met, I would say raise your stock. I think, especially with the U.S. women's national team and for all national teams, it's a collection of the best your country has to offer, and especially as someone from Emma Hayes' perspective, she's able, like Amaros, find the way to really uh, bring the most out of the positives and find a way to fine tune the negatives or prevent it from being a liability. I believe Howell, like Shapansky, Howell's ability to tough in passes, distribute. I believe, especially maybe not from a starting perspective, but off the bench, have fresh legs and continue to pick out players. Find those great runs from Triple Espresso, Mitch Purse, Rose Lavelle. I believe it's definitely an ace in the hole to have, not just in the start, but on your bench to be that deep. I believe definitely shows something for Emma Hayes to keep her eye on in the pool.
Yeah, no doubt. And with the defensive midfielder position of the U.S. women's national team, they usually only carry one, and it's Sam Coffey. And it's usually they just if Sam Coffey's not playing, they're going to filter heaps back in that position or whatever. So it's really
Yeah.
hard in that position to get on the national team. And the evolution of her game that needed to be shown was her offensively. We know how good she is defensively. Can she create chances? Can she get in the attack? And I think she showed off this game. I think that
Yeah.
run that led to the goal was her saying, like, hey, Emma, check this out.
Yeah.
So I
Seriously.
think her stock raised a bit, about as high as it can be. We'll see. Then Davidson, do you think Davidson raised her stock, stayed the same?
I think I would say overall stayed the same. Definitely the contribution on that goal is that definitely tough, especially as a defender. You would feel every goal you let in as a personal onslaught. I believe just coming back from injury, Davidson has done something that you normally want to see from the back line, not being name brand. You're holding the line, you're doing your work, you're letting offensive players shine, you're holding down the line and enforcing, imposing your will when necessary. So I believe just seeing her get back to match speed and her usual fitness, I think that's enough to re-cement her usual place on the national team.
Yeah, this was a fine performance. She showed off everything that you want to see from her. Then Midge Purse.
Mitch Purse. And you mentioned before there aren't many players that can play like a Rose Lavelle. The one person that immediately popped in my mind, maybe different style, but just the energy that Joie Javi, that's definitely a good job of mispronouncing that, but moving on, of how she plays is Purse. Just like Rose Lavelle, I love watching Mitch Purse plays. She's dancing on the ball. It really feels like it's FIFA 2005 where the ball's just hopefully stuck to your foot. It's glued on. She moves so seamlessly, just great on the ball player. And I believe just that energy, no matter where she is, that tenacity, the quote we'll get to later. Love that you included it. Just seeing her energy thrive on and off the field. I believe she definitely has enough. Sometimes doesn't jump in through to the starting lineup, but she will always contribute. And seeing her and Rose Lavelle shine when they play together, but even just seeing her play, she will be an absolute menace on the wings. Teams like Boston may impose their physicality and try and bully you. She won't take it. She has the New York, New Jersey grit that she won't back down. She played up that neck of the woods, and she won't be bullied.
Yeah, I do think she raised it a little bit just because I think she showed off again that she can attack, and now that
Mm-hmm.
she has more options as a defender too, and the
Yeah.
national team likes their wing backs, so that could be
Mm-hmm.
another option for her. So I think that a little bit raised there. Jaden Shaw.
Jane Shaw. I think Jane Shaw is just continuing to, at minimum, maintain her level. At
Yeah.
maximum, keep rising. You can see that she is more than the one trick pony of bangers only. She can poach, she can hit curlers, she can come off the run for a corner or off a set piece. No matter what, if there's a goal, she will do everything in her power to get there. And the fact that we have her in addition to our newest addition, who I wanted to mention, uh, I think she just, for the most part, can't do no wrong, and fantastic player, and is definitely cementing her level as a regular contributor to the squad.
All right. What about? I agree with you. I think the same. She's just she's solid all around. And then Dudley. Do you think Dudley did enough to raise her stock to show Emma Hayes that she deserves a call into the next camp?
May have to correct me if I'm wrong, but the next camp, is it more of a camp where it's new players getting their shine? I believe this is more she's cementing
Yeah.
her usual group.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I think she might be more of one of the, like, for the men's at least. Sometimes when it's in European season, they would have more of the MLS call ups, see the domestic league players how they fare. I believe I'm one of the maybe more quote unquote off season camps. I believe that would be perfect for her. I made a note. I really enjoyed watching her play. We talked about it before. In this game, I feel like she really shined, and I think she still needs to maybe get a little stronger to deal with that physicality, but you do not see any deer in headlights anymore. She is locked in. She has ton of confidence, fast confidence. She will continue to rise and go for the ball. I think one note I wanted to bring up was just completely showing confidence, speed, dribbling. This league is very much sink or swim, just like WNBA, because unfortunately, while we're hungry for growth and want to see more, because there aren't as many teams and players showcasing their level at the highest level of the game so far, the talent condensation is really tight. So it's a pressure cooker. You'll see if you can swim the deep end very quickly, and at minimum she's uh she's staying afloat. At maximum, she's getting her strides in. She, I believe, can definitely contribute at the club level. The international level may take some time, but continue her stock will continue to rise as she develops.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And she showed off everything you want to see from a player of her
Mm-hmm.
level. You're being new to the league. She's taking on players. She's working hard on the defensive side of the game. She's getting in the mix all the time. I think
Yeah.
she has all the skills and all the talent. I don't see how you cannot look at her and be so excited about the future of her and in the national team. I think she's going to be an amazing player. She'll fit right into the triple espresso.
Oh, of course. We'll have an
Yeah.
extra shot in right there.
There you go. And last one is Shapansky. Did Shapansky do enough to raise her stock in this one?
Shapansky, I would say, as you mentioned before about her, I think it's someone that would be maybe more on the bubble. I believe talent is there to play. Definitely want to see some more looks with her. Um, Not be able to get in the field as much with the current level, but I believe getting in there, I think we just have to find ways more of widening the field and not letting a lockdown, park the bus mentality really stifle the offensive end. But I believe kind of opening him up will give more time to shine. But I think she's been on the radar enough to be intrigued. I think it just needs to have a little more around her, or a little more opportunities to take advantage of, to really kind of stay on that radar and in the mix.
Yeah, this wasn't the game really for her to show off, and her being a little bit wider, not centrally, I think is a better position for her. But
Mm-hmm.
I think you saw what you wanted to. If you were looking for that, you saw what you wanted to see. That ball through
Yeah,
was amazing. To see that she has that in her bag is just incredible. I just want to
great.
make one quick note. Jalen Howell on this game not only was amazing offensively, she recorded 6 interceptions and
Mm.
won 4 of her 6 tackles. She was a beast, and she was showing off in this one. So, question for the fans. Now that Sonnet is back in the field, and you saw 3 of them, Sonnet was pushed into a midfield position and she was all
Mm.
over the pitch in the midfield. How does Gotham get all 3 players, Carter, Davidson, and Sonnet, on the field at the same time? Do they switch to a semi 5 back? Do they just do 3 defenders and have 1 wing back just switching sides?
Mm.
Do they put Sonnet in the spot where McCaskill is? I don't know. So, fans, what do you think about that? Your thoughts on getting all 3 of them on the field at the same time? Let's talk about a quote from Midge Purse. This is on the rivalry itself. She says, "No, I actually do not think this was a rivalry. I do think that they're a real physical team with everybody, and I think that's just part of their identity. Don't feel the rivalry yet, but maybe my standards are a little high." Question from Holden Williamson. Your thoughts on Boston and Gotham being a rivalry at this
I
point.
believe it could definitely develop. I think, to quote a cultural staple, at least in my generational neck of the woods, we're trying to make fetch happen. Fetch won't
Yeah,
happen yet, to quote the iconic Mean Girls, but I think because if both Gotham and Boston were expansion teams, they could grow that rivalry up together. But with Gotham being a longtime staple, I think as the season progresses, maybe the next couple of years that could happen. But I think I agree with Mitch's assessment. But just that confidence, it's why I loved watching the off season when I saw her show go on. It's not a rap lyric from a song I like. It's not cocky. It's assured. It's She's not just saying it as just being overconfident. That's what she believes, and I think that rivalry is not there yet. But if they continue to kind of throw those punches, Gotham isn't going to take that lying down. That's for sure.
yeah, it both is a rivalry and it is not a rivalry. So it is a rivalry. It's Boston, New York. It's a rivalry,
Oh yeah.
right? So it's just in the blood. It's there. When you
Mm-hmm.
hear Boston, you're just like, we just have to beat them no matter what. It's just yes, you want the worst for them just on the field. It's just the way it is with being New Jersey, New York. It's just what you want,
Yeah.
but it's not there yet on the field. So when they start playing games that matter, obviously it probably would not happen this season. Boston at the bottom of the table, but hopefully when they start playing games that matter, it'll become a real rivalry on the field. So there's that. I'm with Midge as far as like the on the field stuff. They are just that team to everybody. So I
Yeah.
can't wait. Have they played Racing Louisville yet? That's gonna be fun, man. You just get popcorn for that game. It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be
Uh,
like in hockey, where if you feel like there's some bad blood brewing in the NHL, both teams just bring on their fifth lines and just says drop.
yeah, was that like the Canadian game and the U.S. game where they just like they drop the puck and they
Yeah,
just threw their upside and start fighting?
yeah. I think the Five Nations. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. So, any stats in this game that that you take away from?
Stats to take away. I believe kind of being a broken record. I would say it's the XG. I believe from what I saw, it was 2.08, or around that two range. And from, as you alluded to, that last and second half, those chances, we did everything but the ball cross the line. I think we just have to find ways to break down that congestion, not be overwhelmed by it, find a way to. Great thing in a low block is spreading out, being able to, as we did with the first goal, poke it through and then just keep that momentum, keep that intensity, because a low block team will chase. And the more they chase in desperation, you see kind of more gaps in the armor and you're able to take advantage of it. So I think it's just to be able to continue to uh, kind of back up the action of the XG. You're putting in the effort. It's just kind of finding that final push with an Astaire when Katie Lamson, friend of the pod, who explained the mentality, which I really love the insight that she gave there, especially that kind of physicality that Christine Sinclair like player. I think throwing her in that type of atmosphere, she definitely would, I feel like, unsettle a physical team. So just finding a way that if the ball's there, you just push it through. And like your shirt, rugby scrum if you have to.
Yeah, no doubt. So the second half of this game was just a beatdown from Gotham as far as stats are concerned. Boston had
Mm-hmm.
3 touches in Gotham's box, only 1 shot.
Wow.
Just they were just not on their side of the field. This we got here. They had 19 passes on Gotham's half of the field in the second half. That's how pinned in they were for that, which is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Hero of the match, Danger Dill said Howell. Edge Troya said Sarah set up the goal. Then Rody Rogue said Dudley and Howell. Linda said Howell, in my opinion. Do you agree that it was Howell as the hero of the match?
You know what? I will. Who am I to deny the voice of the people? I will go with Howell. I believe the passing, just her involvement in that sequence was just for a soccer purist, soccer sicko, beautiful, beautiful contribution. The pass was great. The ability to have that confidence to not only, as you mentioned, with those key blocks, the key defensive plays, to know that as a defender, you have the confidence to leave your home, go forward, and contribute. That shows that duality that executed right, very fearsome in the eyes of your opponent, and it's something that you have to count for. That almost like a tight end who can in football who can receive and create constant mismatches. Howell can be that matchup nightmare, and I think she showed glimpses of it with that sequence. So I definitely agree. Howell for MVP.
Indeed, I agree. Let's talk about next 3 games or so. So Gotham's in 5th place at the moment, going to Seattle this Friday, which is going to be a tough matchup. We know who Seattle is. They got the wings and they put balls across. However, this season, Gotham is #1 in the league in crosses per match, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And Seattle's only #3. So take that, Seattle. We're even better. Then I think Gotham goes to Mexico right after that. And then they come back for the last home game before the break. Just your thoughts on a Friday night in Seattle.
Well, hopefully the umbrellas don't need to be out. I mean, Seattle's definitely a team like Portland. That area is just, it's a soccer hotbed. That whether team up or down, especially with the standings being the queens of chaos they always are, anything can happen. And just showing with the definitely being expansion, more teams on the horizon. Each team, whether first to last, has talent, and anything can happen in a blink of an eye. So it's just like what we wanted to avoid after scoring 1 goal. It's keeping that intensity, not playing up or down your opponent, playing up to your expectations. And with that, the sky's the limit for Gotham. So to continue that, especially with traveling to play Seattle, to Club America, with Houston, being able to hopefully our mad scientists on the touchline with Almaros can keep everyone fresh, dangerous, and see what happens from there.
Yeah. This is a good game for Gotham to get back onto their shutout streak again. Seattle has been struggling to score goals, and I think this is a good time to do it. So I think Gotham has the chance to end this game, come home, and then go head to Mexico with a win. So any manifestations for this match? What are we manifesting?
So manifestations. So I have one with my heart and my head. When it comes with my head, if I'm going for logical, as I mentioned before, really execute on that XG. As we mentioned, we have high XG and ACMs, accurate crosses per match. If we can really combine with those, then we could have it be another Bay FC massacre. Have 2-3 goals, continuing to impose our will and show that we play at our standards and we can keep going. If I listened to my heart, I did not know how much I needed this until it happened. I want a goalie goal from AKB.
That's bold, and I like it.
After seeing that near miss from KC Current game, which was honestly probably in at least second half the best opportunity of that game, I didn't realize how much I wanted AKB to cosplay as Alyssa Nair and just not only score a goal, but have that be that imposing strike. Like we saw those beautiful PKs that Nair would hit, especially against Canada. So as a goalie myself that doesn't have the courage or conviction to do that, let me live vicariously and have notorious AKB just put one back there.
Yes. We're both manifesting AKB stuff. I'm manifesting for her to just have a quiet day. I want her to like not make any saves. So that's it. That's all I want from her. Quiet day for her. Zero. Let's get shut out. Let's get it going and get out of here. All right. Any random thoughts before we head out of here?
Any random thoughts? Well, one, I'll actually give a shout out to my cousin-in-law, my wife's cousin. He sent me a video recently and said, check out this lazy person in the corner. He is going to medical school in Southampton, England, and his job as a side hustle is a steward at Southampton.
Cool.
So they recently just showed the last crazy goal to help, hopefully, I think either advance them to the Prem League or keep them in contention. Right at the end of the video of that goal, you go to the fans, and he's the steward you see clear as day. And I'm just going Leonardo DiCaprio. Whoop, that's him. I'll give a shout out to Urgel. That was a fantastic environment to be a part of. And hopefully we can catch some of those rowdy games together soon.
Sounds good to me. That's congrats. That's an amazing thing, and wish you all the best of luck. And that's a cool adventure to be able to go on.
Oh yeah.
Just getting to live overseas for a little bit is just such a cool thing, and it just opens
Mhm.
your perspective on so many things, and that's cool. So that's it for us. We will be back next week, finishing the Seattle game, or recapping that, and maybe we'll have some more conversations, some news and stuff. So we will talk to you guys soon. From Jake and myself, thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week.
Let's go Bats.
Let's go.